Felicia Black regarded the man on the other side of the table. Though she had been introduced to him as Callum Wells, it was difficult to think of him as anything other than the ghost. Even now, she could feel the power gathered around him and his wife both, making them feel like they were barely there. Part of her was surprised that he was meeting them in person at all, but she supposed they had come to him. Actually, to Alpha Chester, who well knew the power of playing host to someone like the ghost, but they were the ones on foreign territory. Considering how he operated, it seemed likely using Chester as intermediary was a grudging compromise. What the ghost asked was not unreasonable. She still didn't know how he managed all his infiltration, but the magic of humans and the magic of the Fae was different enough that a powerful enough Fae might be able to stymie him. Especially a Fae from the 7 lesser courts, whose princes were indistinguishable from their holdings. Even if the ghost was as inconspicuous as a flea of human magic would still be something they noticed, and would deal with.
"There may be something I can do,"
she wrote, slowly and reluctantly. Felicia knew that the ghost was the only one who could get Ray out. It wasn't just her experience as a detective, but her instincts as a Fae screaming at her about the sheer weight of the ghost's story. There were thieves and assassins from Fairy, of course, but they had their own interests and lacked the potent history of both justice and subterfuge the ghost had. Nor would a human demand something as insidious as a Fae's idea of payment. Not that they'd even discussed remuneration yet, but it was clear he wanted something that would permanently protect him from the Fae. There was no question she had to find and rescue Ray. The worry gnawed at her gut and showed itself in her voice. In a way, it wasn't a very Fae-like thing to admit to, but that was one reason why she'd left. Her path was something closer to human, and Ray had been her constant companion through the whole thing. Their relationship was still a little ambiguous, and purposefully so. But now she'd come to a critical point. Not just for them, but for her own story and sense of identity. She had to decide what she was willing to sacrifice for Ray.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.